Hi and welcome back to Danish Fly Tying's YouTube channel, where I try to make tutorials for my fly tying. And today we're gonna tie this little goby fly. It's made of materials that I love to use for my own flies. And gobies are a favorite snack for sea trouts, and they gonna eat them if they see one. So yeah, this is made in tan and darker and gray colors. Some kind of natural colors. Yeah, and the materials that I use for this fly is some materials that I think gives the right movement in the water. So some rabbit fur, I have a nice patch here, and I'm also using some Spey feathers. These are quite difficult to get your hands on, but I got this hen cape in tan the other day, and I love to use them for a lot of sea trout flies, and you can see other patterns on this channel and also on my Instagram account where I use these feathers, and they give the most amazing movement underwater. And a hackle feather, and for the head of the fly I'm using a more darker colored fur. This is from a red fox with, I think it's dyed black underfur. And yeah, what I missed, I'm also using some ice dub. This is ice dub in UV tan, and the hook I'm tying on is from, it's here. It's from Flyco, a Stingerhook that they have developed, and it's perfect for almost every sea trout fly, the classic ones. This is a size 4, and yeah, I think the fly talks for itself and will catch some fish. So let's start. I'm using a Flyco Stingerhook Explorer hook, size 4, and I'm using a wide Veevus GSP thread 30 denier, which is a thin thread to work with, but I love it because it doesn't bulk up on the hook shank. I'm starting here at the hook bend, and I'm using this beautiful piece of rabbit fur, and I'll take a little bunch here from the hide like this, and this is a bit too much. I have fur all over my tying desk, excuse me, and I'll take quite a bit of the underfur, and we're gonna make a dubbing loop, and I should have made that on beforehand, but we'll try. Like this, and secure it. I almost cut my thread here. I think it will work. Yeah. Put it in here and then spread it out a bit. Like this. Take a sharp scissor and cut. It's easier if you have a quite long blade on your scissor, so you can do it in one cut. Then dubbing reel, give it a spin, and then we're ready to tie it in. Put on the hackle plier and cut. And I try to guide the hair backwards, and about 3 turns here. Like this. And For this pattern I like to use rubber leg for the legs, which I tie in on front. This is about I think it's tanned beard with gold flakes. Use whatever you want. Tie it in here on the top, and I cut it about 1 centimeter from the tail. Then we are ready for the body. I'm using a Hackle here, which I have stripped one side away from. I've used this for a couple of flies, but it still works. Just cut away some of it. Great. And yeah, that's the part here. Tie it down. And then we're gonna use some eye drop in UV 10. I like to put on dubbing both ways. So start in front and go back, and then front again. This way you can make a quite even body and get the taper that you're looking for. And I want about maybe 4 millimeters or something in the front. And now we can turn the hackle. About 1 turn in the back, and then we can go forward about maybe 4 or 5 turns, and we can take some strands away here so we can tie it in better. When you have a bare stem, that is easier and looks better. And this is the body. You can use a rib, of course, which is always a good way to secure it. Okay, the head of the fly is made of 3 things: the rabbit again, and then a spey feather and some black fur again in the front. I'm starting with the same rabbit as I used before for the tail. I have a bunch here, and this time I'm not going to take all of the underfur, and we're going to get a dubbing loop again. And the hairs I make them a bit longer here in the front. Take your long bladed scissor. I like to have one long bladed scissor that I treat very well for the purpose like this. And to take out some of the trapped fibers, you can use some kind of dubbing brush or Velcro. And now we're ready to tie it in. And I'm doing it the same way as the tail. Hold it back while you turn. And here it's about 3 turns as well. Maybe 4. Yeah, so now we're ready for the spey feather. I have taken off the bottom part of it because I want where the stem is thin, which is in the tip. Tie it in. I like to fold it backwards to secure it a bit more because they are quite fragile. And for these feathers I like to use the Hackle ply as well. And again, guide the hair, the strands backwards. These spey feathers are very difficult to get your hands on. I was lucky to get one the other day. But if you're consistent and very quick to order when they're there, it's still possible. Yeah, and about 1 millimeter over the stem, so you can secure it, and now you can already see these beautiful strands sticking out. And for the front of the fly, I wanted a bit more darker color, and I'm using, this is some red fox with dyed underfur, dyed black, but you use whatever black fur you like, but you're not gonna need much. Take out the longest hairs. This is already too much, I think. Take about half of it and make a dubbing loop. Yes. And about a centimeter, 1.5 centimeter of it. Cut the rest. Now we're ready to spin it. Try to hold it away from the feathers so they just don't tangle that much. I think I got a strand or two, but it's okay. Now we're ready for turning it in the front of the fly. Couple of turns here, and as you see, you don't need much to get this black head look. Like this. And now we only need to finish the fly. I use a whip finish tool, and you can cut the thread. And what I like about this GSP thread is that you can color it in whatever color you want. I have a black marker here. Perfect. Wet it a bit, and we're ready for some kind of head cement or super glue or UV resin, whatever you like. This is a thin UV resin, which just works. Yeah. Actually, that's a finished fly we have here. I know I have a black background, but I think you get the look of it. And I really love this. This is a fly that I would love to fish. It has all that I am looking for in a natural colored sea trout fly. Yeah. So if you want to see more tying tutorials, you can follow this page, or you can find other fly tying stuff on my Instagram account, which also is named Danish Fly Tying. Yeah, and I hope to see you at the coast.